Today we are joined by Randal Pearson, who is an artist, a puppeteer, photographer, model, and a collector of weird oddities. Randy brought with him several dolls that are said to be haunted or possessed. We'll get into how he obtained them, but we'll also go into why people collect haunted dolls in the first place, why they're so freaky, yet so popular. And then we'll dive into some of the most infamous haunted dolls in history. So sit back, turn off the lights, and take a journey with us through the world of haunted dolls.
And welcome to the Spooky Door. We have Randy with us, who
How's it going?
Brought along some magnificent friends. Just want to start off too.
Hi, friends.
If you have what's called, I think it's pediophobia, or also just known as the fear of dolls, you're gonna hate this episode.
And you should probably turn it off now.
Yeah, because this whole episode's about creepy haunted dolls. So starting off, we have the one in the back. Did you name it?
I didn't pick a name.
Maybe that's why,
Maybe that's why it never did a whole lot for me.
Okay. So
you should name them.
Maybe we should name it right now.
Yeah, I was going to say we can name them right now.
We can use the Ouija board and name it. I feel like that's just like, oh.
I feel like combination of haunted dolls and the Ouija board is just...
well, let's not do that. Okay.
Might be too much. Yeah.
Okay, so let's go ahead and grab, we don't have her name for it, so we'll just, I don't know.
Samantha.
All right, her name is now Samantha.
So
we bought
Samantha.
Samantha
She has such pretty hair.
off eBay, because you can buy a haunted doll on eBay.
You can see you can buy as many haunted dolls as you want. You can start a whole new family.
It's your forever friends who will be with you forever and ever and ever. Anyway, so you can buy a litany of tons of haunted dolls on eBay, which we discovered, and which is, some of them are just downright disturbing, creepy, expensive.
They are expensive.
There was that one we saw that was like $1,000 or some crap like that. I was like, Jesus.
This episode also has been like a goal of mine since our very first audio podcast, and you brought it up to me. I've been like, haunted dolls, it's gonna happen, and I kept bringing it up, and now here we are.
Yeah, finally talking about
my
haunted
dreams
dolls.
are coming true.
I feel like we should keep it going. Like, I'll just keep getting more and keeping them in my room until something happens.
Until something's bound to happen.
We're bound to get one eventually, right? Like, at least 1 out of 80 has to be haunted.
So we actually have an unboxing video for Samantha. Real quick though, so we went online to eBay, and we had. Well, originally we had some very specific guidelines we wanted to follow. We wanted something where someone on their selling history wasn't always selling lots of haunted dolls. They weren't making a market on it.
Right. So you're just trying to make money, obviously.
It didn't. If it had a long catered name and background and weird stuff, like this is Susie and she was born in 1800 and she she's a mischievous spirit. I'm like, okay, this is like a creative writing essay.
Right.
So this one, the person had hardly anything for sale. Nothing was really spooky or haunted or anything like that. And this was the description we got. The tagline was, haunted doll, handmade 30 years ago by my grandmother as a voodoo doll. Creepy. All right. So the description said, haunted doll, handmade 30 years ago by my grandmother, voodoo doll. Creepy, passed down to my 6-year-old granddaughter who refuses to play with it. Cries when it's in her room. She claims it moves on its own, and she's finding it in random places in the house. She keeps it in the closet. I need to get rid of it. Take your chances. Question mark.
Who would make this like a pretty doll?
So I'm just like, it looks like something that just found at a thrift store, and it's like, oh, it's a voodoo doll.
I would also just like to point out that we just discovered that she has another face.
She does. That thing was in my room for like a month, and I never.
It's like somebody started to draw her face on this side, and they messed up, and they were just like, f it. I'm just turning it over. We're just turning it over. It's fine.
I don't want to start completely over.
Well, it's funny because I remember when we ordered it, we're like, I'm just like, because, okay, first off, the other thing is the reason why you're here is because you're the only one I was able to find who was crazy enough to hold a haunted doll.
I wasn't going to do it. As much as I wanted this episode to happen, I was not going to do it.
And I was afraid to put it in a studio and being like, okay, we just come back and like everything gets trashed.
It's broken, yeah.
So I was like asking around, and you were the first person to be like, yes, I will totally take a haunted doll. And I was like, okay, of course you will, because...
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty in the middle about things like this. I'm like, I don't necessarily believe, but I don't disbelieve. I'm like, so maybe it'll change my mind. Maybe I'll become a believer after this.
Well, you're like,
so many friends.
You're like, what's the worst thing that's gonna happen? I'm gonna get possessed. Cool, it makes a cool story. I was like, of course, up here, like outlook on it.
Yeah. Like, right? You come back from being
be that
possessed
bad.
by dolls, right? I think. I don't know.
We're gonna find
My
out.
first time doing this.
So then we ordered the doll and we had it shipped to your house because I was like, I'm not keeping this thing in my house. Because I wanted to be like way I am. I was like, man, I don't know, just because I knew how neutral you were. So I was like, you made a good candidate. So we have a unboxing video of you getting the doll. Unboxing video.
My name is Randal Pearson. Here helping Jordan and Ashley for their haunted doll episode on their podcast. Not sure if they just ran out of people to ask or if they just knew that I was dumb enough to put a haunted doll in my room. Not sure. But I was more than happy to help out, mostly because I don't necessarily believe that dolls can be haunted. So I'm not too concerned, but in the name of science, we're going to give it a go. Here we are. It's kind of creepy looking. Mostly wood. Some stuffing in there, strawy type hair. Looks sweet and innocent enough. Kind of a, not really too much smell to it. A little, I don't know what that is. But it smells better than I do, so I think we'll get along. One interesting thing with the boxing is they actually taped, so on the sides you can see there's like little handles, but they actually taped black, really thick black paper over both sides so that the doll can't see out or no one can see in, but at least a little bit of forethought on their part to add to this experience, to make it seem more real. So let's see what happens.
Okay, and then so that was the unboxing. So after you got the doll, you put it on the shelf. Okay, go from there.
Yes, I put it on the shelf. I put some other things around it. Most of my room is full of creepy shit, so I mean, I'm sure it felt at home the entire time.
It's like, this is the best place I've ever lived. Maybe that's
stuff.
the problem. Maybe she was too comfortable.
Maybe it was just like maybe your room weirded her out. And was just like, oh,
she's like, I love
she's
this.
just like, oh man, this weird shit's gonna happen in here. I better just stay in the stall.
Better act innocent.
So I got it, put it up on the shelf. I did the little electric meter thing. I was getting all kinds of readings, but my room just must have bad electricity because if I move the doll away from the wall, like nothing.
Well, that's like this room. Like I tried to use like an EMF reader in here, like just to turn it on, and it like lit up because there's way too much electricity in this small little studio to use an EMF reader properly.
If I'm being honest, though, I have a hard time believing that someone made this to be a voodoo doll.
I am having a really hard time.
Yeah.
This looks like something that like some little old like Amish lady.
Right,
wears.
like you're at a flea market, out in the middle of nowhere, and it's like there's 25 of those.
Yeah, there's like 25 of those same things in like different colored dresses. Yeah, that's what I feel like.
Also, I do have a little note about voodoo dolls in general. I want to cover that real fast. Voodoo dolls have, thanks to pop culture, have a huge misunderstanding. True, they can be used in a negative way, but most of the time, and especially in cultures all around the world, they're used, voodoo dolls or even puppets, as they're really known, will be used as a tool for healing, love, peace, and protection. Yes. So it's like their grandmother made this as a voodoo. I love how you've made a face right at me too. Thank you for that. But
you're welcome.
Just staring at me, these black eyes.
She's so happy to see
poorly
you,
painted
Jordan.
black eyes are staring at me.
I have the weird back face pointed at me, like staring through the air.
Listen, maybe she's in love with you. Maybe you guys have a secret romance.
Okay. Anyway,
but also clarify, like voodoo dolls generally don't look like this. So I mean.
So anyway, you put him on your shelf, and it's okay. Continue on.
So, a few nights go by, nothing happens. But then at one point, my mom came into my room, and my room is really weird, but she notices that the doll is in there, And she notices. She notices it.
Well, of all the weird things, this is the most tamest thing
it's
probably.
Definitely, yes, it's the most country-looking thing in my room for sure. And she's just like, "Oh my God, where'd you get that?" And I'm like, "I want it." "Get what?" She's like, "That doll on your shelf." And I'm like, "What?" She's like, "It's beautiful." And I'm like,
beautiful.
I'm like, "Oh man, my mom's super religious, so I didn't tell her that I was bringing this doll in."
Oh.
And she's like, "What are you doing with it?" I was like, "Oh, it's just up here just for a couple weeks, and I'm gonna get rid of it." And she's like, "Can I have it?" And I was just like, "Well,
I don't know if you want it."
She's like, "What?" And I'm just like, "It's haunted." She just like looks at me like I'm telling a joke. And I'm like, "Remember the podcast I told you I was gonna shoot?" And she's like, "Yeah." I was like, "It's about a haunted doll, and this is a haunted doll." And she
she like,
she
"I'm
had like
not
a
coming
panic
back
attack.
in here."
Yeah. So and I'm just like, "Mom, get out of my room." Like it's whatever. Like, but then the next day, like I get home from work and she comes into our room and she's like, "You got to get rid of that doll." And I'm like, "For what?" She's like, "Because I went out of my room and I had a flashlight under my bed, and when I came back, the flashlight was in my bed and completely disassembled."
Okay.
And I'm just like,
What?
like, "Mom, are you
Stop.
on drugs?" Like, she's like, "No, I swear. And I'm just like, "Get out of my room."
Coincidentally, after you
After you told her. That
Yeah.
it's
haunted.
not
So
haunted.
before,
now it's a
nothing.
thing,
As soon as
yeah.
she knows, now it's like flashlights are being taken apart. And I'm like,
Didn't you say something else happened? Didn't you say like something else that she said?
so then anytime she came in my room, she would come in, look at the doll, and like have like a startled look. And she'd be like, "It moved." I'm like, "What do you mean it moved?" She's like, "It was facing the other direction yesterday." And I'm just like, "Mom, I put its feet in a specific spot on this shelf so I could see if it moves. It has not moved."
Oh,
And pretty much that was every day of my life for several weeks. Like,
sorry.
it was quite amusing actually.
So we have official verdict on this. Do you feel anything from it? From the doll?
None.
I'm not out. It's not. Doesn't creep me out. Doesn't weird me out or anything like that.
If anything, I get like positive.
Right? Does it have a?
Like,
I was expecting a thrift store like $3.99 tag on the bottom or something like
let me
that.
see this
The weird
wild
face on
woman.
it. So there's.
Have we tried like?
What does she have?
No offense, Samantha, but
I'm just checking
we're
to see
gonna
if
get
there's
all up
any-
in your business here. Hey everybody.
Oh, by the way, we do have a fourth mic hooked up just in case the dolls want to say
you
something.
want to say something, Samantha. Yeah.
So we have a fourth
I
mic
don't
hooked
know.
up.
This like looks like it's too new for it to be as old as they.
It just
claim
looks
for
like
it
something
to
from a
be.
thrift store.
Yeah, really
Yeah,
does.
and
It looks like
doesn't
something
look
like your
like-
grandmother would have had or something like that. It just looks
Yeah.
like it's like some tacky Americana
Like,
type of like
Yeah,
you know.
flea market.
Yeah,
Like
the person that went through a little effort, like I don't know if you could see it in the unboxing video, but like there are handles in the side where there were holes, and they like taped black
Tossing her
paper
hair.
over the holes, like so that the doll couldn't see out. Like it was
Weird.
really
that's
weird.
mean.
Well, I mean, like, but that's the whole thing. Like on their
Listen.
account though, they didn't have anything weird. They're selling like
She's just misunderstood. Okay.
so. Anyway, that's newly named Samantha.
Samantha, it's okay. We'll be your friends, Samantha.
All right, you have some other little friends with you.
Yeah, so these two little guys, so these are the ones. Oh God, don't be mad.
God.
Don't be mad.
She's so mad.
These little guys are the ones that I bought
On eBay, right?
on eBay.
Tabitha and Timmy. That's
What are the names?
I don't know. She looked like a Tabitha.
I don't think they had names. They were just.
Okay. So it wasn't one of the ones that had like a 4-long paragraph like essay.
This one actually had a decent amount, but they didn't have names. It just
Okay.
said. So I tried to go complete opposite from
Yeah.
what we did first. So this person was selling like 65 haunted dolls. These two, they claim that
I don't like
they
it.
got from their aunt who collected haunted dolls. And that these two were supposed to be brother and sister that died and possessed these two dolls. So you needed to keep them together. They weren't it said they weren't
arms
bad
went together.
spirits, that they were good, but if you separated them, they would be like rambunctious kids, like they would knock stuff over and like just cause
Well,
ruckus until you
I'm
put
a
them back
preschool teacher.
together.
I get that. You don't have to explain
Yeah.
child ruckus to me. I know.
So, Okay. Did you just separate them?
I did. I'd like take one to work with me in the truck. Like,
one of you gets to sleep with me at night. The other one, you get to sleep in the trunk of the car.
And nothing happened. But interestingly, so when I got these two, came in 2 boxes, and so I just assumed they were each and separated. But then I opened the first box, and they're both in there.
I will say this: I was expecting them to be a little more bigger when you.
I did too.
They're very Christmassy looking.
They are very, yes. So I'm like, okay, they're both in the same box. What the hell is this other box? The box came from the same person, so I open it up.
I'm just trying to see if there's any markings about like who made them or anything like that. Like anything.
And when I open it up,
this is a porcelain doll.
It is, yeah.
I mean, it's porcelain. That's kind of nice. It's like Antique Roadshow. Haunted
It
Antique
totally
Roadshow.
is, yeah.
Haunted Antique Roadshow.
So I open up the other box, and there's this little doll in there.
I can't keep it straight. I can't.
And I'm like, here, lean on there. There you go. Teamwork.
All right.
And there's this other little doll. I'm like, this thing's creepy. I didn't order this. Like, what the hell? And I put them all up on the shelf.
Okay.
And like I have all the wrappings and stuff in my bed, and I just like swipe it all off my bed into a trash bag. And nothing happened. So up until yesterday, and I thought it was kind of funny because I had a moment where I had like a slight panic. After about 30 seconds, I was just like, what are you doing? You're an idiot. Like, there's an explanation for this, and it's just that I'm sloppy and my room's a mess. But I am going through my laundry basket because, you know, like every grown man, I don't put my laundry away. I leave it in a tote. I never fold it, never hang it. I just put it on.
At least you know where it's all at.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm like digging through the laundry basket, and the wrapping that these things came wrapped in, there was another one. But it was in my laundry basket, like on the other side of my room.
Did it fall in there when you opened it?
I have no idea. But so like I grab it and I realized there's another doll, and so I'm just like,
they're multiplying.
Holy shit! Yeah, I'm just like, did I get this?
So which one was the one that was
like?
in the?
Did I get this thing wet? Like,
was that the one was in the laundry basket?
Yeah.
So where was this one at?
It was in the box.
Okay, this one was in the box.
Second box.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they were got shipped separately.
Yeah. So
they're trying to piss them off at the get-go.
We know we told you not to separate them.
And this is the one you found in the
laundry basket. Yeah.
And that's one you had no idea that.
Yep, up until yesterday. So I've had these things for well over a month.
This one I think is my favorite.
Yeah, mine too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I did panic for a minute, and I'm just like, no, you're a slob, and at some point you just like slid all your laundry off the bed into the tote, and it must have been on there.
Yeah.
I like these extra feathers you got too.
They were wrapped around each doll. Like each one came with a feather and a bow.
Well, this one's made in China. Or at least the base is. I don't know if the doll is. Doll actually looks pretty old.
The bases, so they slide off, and then they have this thing in them. So it's like the base probably came with them because the metal's made to like slide down in. See, it's like it squeezes together, and then it goes in there.
Oh, yeah.
Well, your legs are going everywhere.
Right.
Woo. Get it together.
I still can't believe you just found it in your dirty clothes, though. That's hilarious.
For like 30 seconds, I panicked, like, oh my God, this is real. And then I'm like, it's probably not real.
Oh.
So my conclusion from all these dolls are one of two things are true. Either they are not haunted, or they're just like, man, this is like a middle-aged dude that lives with his mom. Let's not f with him. He's
got a bunch of creepy shit in his room.
Going on right
we
now.
Can't do anything.
We don't need to mess with him. Like, we'll wait till the next people.
Right. I don't know, man.
These two, like,
you guys are welcome to take them home with you.
I don't want. Nope.
Like, you might as well.
Nope.
I figure we leave one here.
They're certified.
If we leave one here, no, I don't like these two.
They're certified
brothers,
not
sister
haunted from
thing.
me.
Maybe the one that's like that was found in the laundry room in the laundry basket. Maybe we'll take that one.
I don't know. I don't get like bad vibes from or good vibes. They make me uncomfortable. They make me very uncomfortable.
I think it's their haircuts.
That could be it too. All right, go ahead and put
Evil
this back over
bastards.
there. So we do have a live mic for the dolls. So
if you guys have anything to say,
there's
dolls.
there's a live mic for you guys to talk into.
Oh, this girl. She's just like can't stand up. There you go.
This is the drunk sister.
Oh my god.
She's like drunk. She went to the party and she had.
I still can't believe just how many of those are on eBay. Like just like page
so
after
many.
page
Yeah.
after page after page. It's like God.
But there's people that collect them too. Like,
There's a lot of people who collect
crazy.
them, and then there's a YouTube video I watched not too long ago where a guy who collects haunted dolls, he had one and he was like, this doll is haunted. It was one from like the 70s that like moved, and it was like if you moved its arm, like it was supposed to blink and stuff. It was supposed to be like a very lifelike doll, and he's filming his case at night and he has like night vision on, and it's like the doll's moving, I swear, but like every time the doll moves, like he moves the camera away from the doll, and then it moves back up, and it's like, oh my god, it moved again, and it's like, well, why don't you just keep the camera focused on? If there's one doll is the one that has activity, why don't you focus your camera on that one doll?
So there's a video kind of like that where this lady's like filming all the dolls in her like doll room, and like one of them moves its arm, but it's like she zooms into like one specific doll and then like pans out, like she's like moving her camera and she stops on this one doll and like zooms in and then just like zooms out and like starts panning again, and this doll's arm's up and she like gets to it like, and it goes, the arm falls down. But to me it looks like, oh, she's like panning her camera and she zooms in on this doll and then really quickly over here probably lifts the doll's arm up and it's like loose and it probably just like falls down, and she knows that. Like she's like, I'm gonna make everybody think this doll is haunted.
Trickery.
Yeah, and like I saw that and I was like, my immediate thought was like, that joint in that doll is loose, and she knew that was gonna happen.
One video, and I was trying to find it because I wanted to play it tonight, but I couldn't find it. These guys did exactly what we did. They ordered a haunted doll online, and they got it in the house. And as soon as they pull into the house, they have a dog, and it's freaking out. I think we talked about this too in our very first podcast.
I feel like we did.
the
Maybe
dog
not
is
the
like
first one, but we know we've talked about
it was during the audio days, but before we went to video. But the dog is like barking at the guys and this doll, and they put the doll in the room where the dog usually will sleep, and the dog is like freaking out, refuses to go in the room, and is like constantly barking at the doll. It's just freaking the fuck out.
That already would just be like
huge, and then like
You got to get rid of the dog, right?
yeah, get rid of the dog. keep the haunted doll. Get rid of the dog.
Yeah,
and like
makes
after
sense.
they said after about like 3 or 4 days, the dog was just like not having it, and they couldn't get the dog to calm down. So finally,
they got rid of the dog, right?
Yeah, it weirded them out to the point where they got rid of the doll. They were like, okay, we have to.
Yeah.
We obviously, they're like, we don't know what's going on. This is like weird, not really affecting us, but obviously the dog is really freaking out over this. So they freaked them out enough to get rid of the doll. But we do have some. We are going to talk about some famous haunted dolls too. Let's just go ahead and knock out the
Dive right in.
We'll dive in. We'll go
let's
ahead and
go.
just talk about the main, the big one. We'll talk about Annabelle. We talked about her on our episode about hauntings. She is currently located at the War Museum,
Which is closed, by the way.
the museum is
Yeah.
Like,
I just-
permanently?
Permanently. I just found that out today.
Wow.
And I'm super sad. And I'm like, first I was super sad. And then like my next thought was like, oh my God, what are they going to do with all that stuff?
right. So
Can I have
Bring it to my house.
Yeah, like,
right. I can't believe it closed down.
So let me move in there.
right.
I'll bring
That
my
could be your
bed.
new home.
Yeah.
It's all kinds of dolls and crazy shit in there. You would love it.
Our tech Zach is having some issues on the TV. But anyway, Annabelle. According to the Warrens, who is Ed and Lorraine Warren, the famous demonologists, is inhabited by an inhuman spirit. And there is a warning on the glass case that says, do not touch. Lauren Whitman has said Annabelle is the worst item in the museum. In a museum full of horrible, god-awful shit, and she is listed as the worst of the worst.
Well, yeah, you can't even touch her. Like,
Right, yeah, you can't even touch her. Supposedly someone doubted, said, reportedly one museum goer who ignored the warnings and taunted the doll died in a motorcycle crash shortly after being told to leave the museum.
So that's why it's in
The glass case.
the glass case. Because
Interesting. I didn't know until recently that it was a Raggedy Ann doll.
Dude,
I was just
Yep.
like, what?
I understand why,
totally Raggedy Ann
because
doll.
if they did it in the movie, it would look so phony.
It really
like
would.
that wouldn't be scary in the movie. I understand why they had to make it the creepy porcelain doll, but to be honest, between the porcelain doll and that thing, I think that's way more terrifying.
Yeah.
Like I think that's way. I think
Look at her. Like,
I
look
know,
at her
the giant
eyes. She's
eyes.
like, with me, I
and the
dare
thing
you.
is big. I mean, it's a huge stuffed doll. It's like
They
as
made,
I've watched
they
the video.
made those things in all kinds of different
Right.
sizes, from big to like little tiny like that. They were the weirdest, most popular thing.
Right.
And there was Raggedy Ann and Raggedy Andy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like
And they all had like, what was it, like where their heart was? There was like a heart.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I had someone. I was, oh, there's a heart right there.
According to the Warren's website, the spirit related to the medium that she felt comfort. Oh wait, hold on. This is about. So Annabelle was given to a woman, girl, by her mom. She was going to school in the 70s.
She was in nursing school.
Yeah. And then they start finding like parchment paper in their apartment. There was no formal parchment paper.
She attacked the girl that owned it. Had a roommate.
Yeah.
And the doll apparently attacked the roommate's boyfriend.
Yeah, he woke up and he couldn't be able to breathe. Felt like someone was strangling him, and the doll was like sitting like right above him. Mm-hmm. And that's the Warren Museum, of course.
I want everything in that photo.
Dude, their museum is incredible.
I'm so sad that this place is closed because I wanted to go.
What
here
are they going to do
so
with all that
bad.
stuff?
I
That's
don't
like,
know. But I'm like, what are you going to do with all this stuff? I wonder if she died, because I know her husband died.
Well, she was in her 80s.
And maybe that's why, which also makes me very
Let's
sad,
see.
because I kind of wanted to meet her.
So supposedly it was a 7-year-old girl who wanted to like inhabit the doll, and the girl's like, welcome. Like, yeah, we had a seance. Like, yeah, join. You can be a part of this doll, sure, whatever. And then it comes out, and then the Warrens were like, no, it's not a child, it's a demon. It's like
It's a
it was
demon.
trying to possess one of you guys, because then they were like waking up and they were having severe issues. And then so the Warrens took interest in the case and contacted the women. They came into the immediate conclusion that the doll itself was not in fact possessed by a human, but an inhuman presence. According to the Warrens, truly the spirit was not looking to stay attached to the doll; it was looking to possess a human host. It is said that the Warrens took the doll and Ed Warren told his wife that they should avoid the highway because it was going to be a rough ride home. He was right. At some point, he had to sprinkle the Annabelle doll with holy water to calm it down, according to the Warrens.
Dang, yeah. I had nothing like that
The
happen.
Warrens also sometimes they overzealous things. They're known to oversell things a little bit. So
I like them, and I give them props for all the shit they've done.
Oh yeah,
but, like,
totally.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's
yeah.
like every time there was a haunting, they would show up. Like every time there was a famous haunting, they'd show up and be like, "Up," and they'd hang out for like a day and then disappear. It's the same thing they did in Amityville. They show up in Amityville and they're there for like a couple days. Like, yeah, whatever, weird shit. Okay, we're on our next adventure.
Right. Next thing, we showed our faces.
Yeah, it's like, oh, we were here, we showed our things, but they didn't really get anything out of it. Which doll you want to do next?
Let's see. We just go in order on here.
Okay.
So Letta.
Okay, so Letta.
This one is creepy. I think this
Yeah,
one is
this one's
Yeah, I think
Letta's
Letta's-
weird.
Yeah.
She has her own
creepy.
Instagram.
Celebrity.
Yeah.
I will post the her Instagram below. This is
So
Letta.
her hair is real human hair that somebody like made for her. That's already creepy.
It's super creepy.
So this is Letta, also known as Letta Me Out, and she is owned by Kerry Walton. So you found underneath the house. I think he's from Australia. Yeah, so they found him. They found Letta, who is male, underneath their house while trying to move or something like that. Then he said he couldn't like get rid of the doll.
He tried.
Like,
Yeah.
He tried to get rid of it, and he said he couldn't sell it. He just like is grown attached to it, but like weird stuff has happened with it.
He didn't even say really attached though.
Yeah.
He was like, he would just like when he finally like he set everything up to sell it, and when finally like it came time, he just like I something like he couldn't do it. Like
Right.
he thinks that the doll wasn't letting him do
Yeah.
it. Like he wanted to, he had everything in order,
Yeah.
and then like he is like the doll just
Yeah, I've
wouldn't
seen
let
an
me. I
interview
couldn't
where
do
he
it.
said he like actually drove it somewhere, but then couldn't take it
Yeah,
out of the
yeah,
car.
he
Like,
couldn't do it. Like he's like, I don't know. I couldn't do it.
out of the car and set it on fire. That's all you can do.
Let's see. Apparently, according to the guy, even though he has like no citation of where this information came from, he named the doll "Let Me Out" because that's what he hears, and supposedly he named it Letta due to its apparent European gypsy heritage. Yeah, but there's like no reason or backgrounding behind that.
Yeah, maybe that's just what like he saw when he looked at it, and so it's like, bingo, that's what the backstory is going to be.
See, he was given the name Letta or Letta, Ledda, due to his European gypsy heritage, or because the doll occasionally screams, "Let me out." Okay, so we actually do have a video of Letta the doll.
Yeah, it's just a very, very spooky doll.
You have brought the doll. I haven't seen this yet, and Lena, our spiritual consultant, has not seen the doll and will give us a reading. Would you like to show us your doll? He's not too attractive.
No.
Now, what have you... Oh, what weird eyes. What have you found out about this doll? How old is it and where was it made?
What big eyes you have.
It's about 200 years old, and it was supposed to be made in Eastern Europe. And they actually dated him by these nails in the bottom of his feet here, you see. And, Eastern Europe, that's what they say.
The doll is original, a couple of 100 years old, from Eastern Europe. Why is he sort of so evil? What weird things have happened?
Well, we had him at a supermarket. We were doing a show at a supermarket, and there was one lady that was coming through the supermarket. She didn't see the doll or anything, and she just said something was very, very evil, and she actually screamed and passed out, and they took her off to hospital. There's strange things like that. One medium we took him to said that she'd done a few things with him over the years, and she actually rang me the other day. I don't want no more to do with the doll because I'm having lots of bad luck, and I feel the vibes are coming from the doll.
Why don't you just get rid of the doll? You found it in the base of a house 25 years ago. Why don't you just get rid of it?
I can't.
There it is.
It's just I've tried to get rid of it before. When we were buying our first home, I needed some money in a hurry, and I decided to sell him, and I'd advertised him. And I took him to the place a lady had rung me and wanted to buy it. And I tried to take him out of the car, but I don't know, I just couldn't take him out. It was really weird.
Lena, you're a psychic consultant. You've not sighted the doll before this moment.
No.
What readings are you getting? Are we all going mad?
No. I just feel quite a powerful energy, but I feel that the doll brings up for people, when they come within the vibration of it, their own apprehension and their own fear. That's the vibration that I get around it. I don't so much see the doll as an evil entity or process. I just feel that there has been, in some level in the past, maybe a negative magic energy, because we can have positive magic and negative magic, of course. But I feel that it's probably connected around a tragedy in some way, that something that has befallen somebody, particularly connected around a child. And I just feel, when I look at the energy, that there is an energy that's been very much trapped within the whole process of it.
I like how she was like borderline stroking its head.
I know.
Like,
I just feel like this lady
is like BSing.
Full of shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
I
will say whoever did make that, like the facial features, like, it's very good craftsmanship. Like,
it is. I feel like it doesn't even need a backstory.
But I also feel like if he did make the backstory of like, oh, like, I think this came from gypsies, but it's evil. Like, I'm like, so are you just trying to like say gypsies are evil? Like, because it kind of feels like that's what you're saying, but no, like, you know, she was stroking his hair, and
I don't know what to think of this one. Annabelle, I definitely think something's up with Annabelle. I think there's enough weird shit involving that doll, or something's definitely up with Annabelle. This one, everyone just talks about how they get weirded out by it.
I think it's just because it looks creepy.
It looks creepy, but like I said, I'm very impressed with like
the eyes,
how it's made, though.
It's also a puppet.
Yeah.
So that's your creepy thing, but the eyes are just fucking terrifying on it. All right, so moving on from Letta, we did skip one. We're one of the bigger names in haunted dolls is Robert the Doll.
Robert.
Let's see. He's currently residing in Fort East Martello Museum in Key West, Florida.
Yep, he's living the retirement life in Key West.
So this is Robert the Doll with his llama. Do you know, Randy, you know much about Robert?
Just a little. I think the little llama thing is creepier than Robert. No offense, Robert. I don't want to have to write you an apology letter.
Because that's a thing.
Yeah. So that's pretty much my knowledge of this one. Is that like if you say bad things about it or
take a picture without asking.
Yeah, you
without
have to
asking.
ask permission.
Like that bad thing.
And all the letters behind it are people apologizing to like taking a photo or doing something or saying negative something bad about it. And like you read the letters, like you can go online and you can read them, and all of them are like right after they left, like bad things start happening, like all kinds of misfortunes, and like their luggage got lost, and then like car got broken into, the car accident, like they missed their flight, and like their flight gets canceled, and all kinds of crazy shit happens. It's hilarious. Allegedly, Robert is also so he was given to Robert Eugene Otto. Was a young boy in the 1900s when his family gave it to him.
So there's two theories behind who it was gifted from.
Okay.
The first theory is that it was a present from his grandfather to him for his birthday. That's the first, probably simplest and most believable.
Right.
The other one is the theory about the maid, is that the maid had cursed it and given it to the family because the family had done wrongdoings to her, and it was her way of getting revenge.
Yeah, this one says the maid gave him a strange straw-filled doll to play with. It doesn't say that there was a curse or anything involved. Gene, supposedly, his name is Robert Eugene, but the family called him Gene, apparently, and from the research I did. So he named the doll Robert after himself, but shortly after getting it, like all kinds of weird shit started happening, and then he always would proclaim, "No, Robert did it. I didn't do it." They would hear Gene in his bedroom having a conversation with himself in two entirely different voices. He would wake up screaming in the middle of the night, and then they would find him in his room, like terrified, like in his room, and the doll would just be staring at the child. Let's see.
Look at him though; he's just like hanging out. He's so proud of himself. He's like, "Yeah, I did that."
Oh yeah. Also, like things would break and get destroyed, or furniture would get flipped over, and the boy would always claim that Robert the doll did it. So then, let's see. Oh yeah, and reportedly, after he grew up, he had the doll still in like the attic, and he got married, and then supposedly his wife hated the doll or something like that, and she put it in a trunk, and it drove her insane. And she ended up, Gene kept the family home, got married. According to lore, his wife was driven insane after reportedly locking Robert in the attic. Now he lives at the museum in Key West, where some believe his hair color and his soul are both slowly fading away. And of course, you have to...
He's dying.
Always ask for permission for his picture, say something positive, negative, whatever. And they have him in a glass case, obviously, too. So, like, no one can touch him.
It's like he's just sitting in a glass box now, and the only thing he can do is just piss people off. So he's like, I guess I'll just curse you if you don't ask permission to take my picture. That's really the only, thing I have going on in this box.
I love this little note. It says, to date, the walls near his glass case are covered in numerous letters from previous visitors and naysayers begging for Robert's forgiveness and asking him to remove any of his next
And he's just like,
curses.
look at his face. He's just like, nope, I don't forgive you. Nope.
No forgiveness.
None.
So this is Robert
All
the
I
doll.
need is my llama.
Robert is not allowed in my room, just for the record.
I wouldn't ask that of you.
You said you wouldn't want him. Yeah, these are pretty. Like, this is kind of a rogues gallery of famous haunted dolls. I don't think.
I'm willing to push the envelope, but you can only push it so far.
Would you take a letter?
I probably would, just because I have a soft spot in my heart for puppets.
Right.
So
what about Annabelle? What if? Okay. What about if you took her, but she had to stay in that box she's in? Like she couldn't come out. She just had to stay in there. I feel like that would be like.
All right, you convinced me. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Because she's supposedly, if you just don't touch her.
Well, if you have a haunted doll and you want to send it to us and we'll have Randy hold it for you, shoot us an email.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, right. Mail him in.
All right, next one on our list of our famous hauntings are dolls.
Mandy.
Actually, this is one. It's from Greg and Heather's Explorations. It's a ghost hunting duo. They're actually married, and they're on YouTube. And they were the lady and her mother both collect dolls, especially haunted dolls and stuff like that. And there's this one where they're having a conversation about one that she just gave to her mother, and this is the video.
100% sure now that they are all haunted for sure. I mean, we already know that the big one is because we've seen her move in my office. All you fans out there have seen her do something. I'm not taking her with me when I move, so if any of you are interested in that doll, please let me know, because I don't want to keep her, but I'd like her to go to a good home. I mean, if there's somebody out there that's interested.
Oh, hey.
Did that?
Oh my god, that thing just moved. That thing just moved. Oh
She's
my
like,
god.
bitch, what do you mean you're not taking me with you? Excuse you?
Her face just moved towards you.
Want me to go
Like
to a
that
good home,
legitimately
bitch? I
just
live here.
Did you see that, Clay?
Yeah, I thought I was seeing something at first.
When you said you're not taking her with you?
She's pissed. She's pissed.
Have you guys seen that video before?
No.
So
she's pissed though.
It's weird because like the head is moving a little bit as the mother is talking. The head is slowly moving her. Then when she's like, I'm not going to take her with her, the head's like, you said what, bitch?
What?
So what do you guys think of that one?
I don't know. I've never seen it. Like
I know that's why I know that video is like all new. It's like
she's not happy.
No.
I'd give that one a
That's for
shot.
sure.
That one can come home with
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
Because it has an attitude.
Yeah.
So that's from Greg and Heather's Explorations, and they're on YouTube.
Now we're on the Dandy Mandy.
Yeah, you go ahead and take over. You can be Mandy.
Mandy. That's Mandy.
Yeah. Cute little Mandy.
So I've watched like a couple of like people do like their top 5 or top 10 of like who they think like the like most haunted dolls are, and like on the majority of them this has been like the top one.
Yeah.
So says Mandy is known to destroy dolls and jealousy, so there's that.
And other toys too.
And other toys.
Yeah.
She gained notoriety when museum staff reported strange occurrences. When Mandy arrived, she was photographed to add to the collection. She was left in the lab overnight. When the staff members arrived the next morning, they found the lab in disarray, as though a small child had had a temper tantrum, which is probably exactly what happened.
Yep.
Later, a stuffed lamb given to Mandy to keep her company was found on the floor outside of her lock case. Fun fact, I had like that same lamb when I was little.
Oh, nice.
Not big. Mandy has been featured in the newspapers, radios, televisions in Canada and the United States. Her starring moment was a guest on the Montel Williams show.
Oh,
Holy
man.
shit.
I'm jealous
He's
now.
more
God,
famous than we are. In April of 1999, Mandy traveled to New York City to meet Sylvia Browne on the Montel Williams show.
Oh, God.
Sylvia, I forgot about her.
Side note, I've read like 10 Sylvia Browne books.
Why?
I don't know.
You love her.
I used to because I loved Montel and she was on Montel all the time. So when I was
She
younger,
was the one
really-
that did the psychic reading for the girl who
Do you
got
guys
murdered.
remember-
And she was like, oh, she's in a better place and stuff like that. And the girl was watching it from the guy who was kidnapped her on TV.
And she was not in a better place.
Yeah.
Do you remember Madame Cleo? Jimmy?
Oh, yeah. Miss Leo.
Okay, so Sylvia believed that the doll had belonged to twins who had died of polio. The mother's grief over the loss of her children was implanted in the doll. She explained that it is the energy, there's this energy that many visitors sense. People have different experiences with Mandy, and here are some of the stories that have been told. One, a visitor from Calgary tried to videotape Mandy with no success, but was able to tape elsewhere in the museum. So basically, like, could tape everywhere else in the museum, but
Couldn't get her.
couldn't get her. She was like, A visitor from Surrey reported when she returned home, her house had been broken into and the only item stolen was a porcelain doll. So Mandy just wanted a friend, I guess. Alone at night, developing photographs of Mandy in the basement lab, a local reporter heard footsteps upstairs, and then his contact sheet jammed in the machine. And that, wait, what?
I don't know. That's what I wrote. That's how it was.
You wrote that.
I didn't write this. This was from a website. I don't remember which one. I think this is from the museum's website.
Okay.
This is from the museum's personal website.
They need to work on typing a better sentence.
A local reporter had stuff upstairs, and his contact sheet jammed in a machine.
That's just that small segment is just poorly typed up.
Anyway, ran around and broke a machine. Okay. Then
Mandy apparently watches people they're like
her eyes will move around.
Which I don't know about that. There's that thing with paintings too.
Right.
It's like there's a whole science behind why that happens. So I'm not sure about that one. But anyway, still every year people come to the museum just to see Mandy. If you visit her in person, you can read her scrapbook, watch video clips, and see if you feel anything special.
We do have a video of Mandy. It's not paranormal-ish. It's just a curator talking about Mandy.
A little over a year ago, I had the picture of Mandy up on the computer screen. And when I went to shut it down in the afternoon, the desktop went like this, like that, just like a PowerPoint presentation, and there was a picture of Mandy. Really, truly, really. Yes, I have witnesses, honest to God.
I will say one thing I know about that too is they had to isolate her from other displays in the museum because
that's why she's in the glass case.
If they put her anywhere else,
stuff gets broken.
Stuff just gets broken because she just wants everybody to pay attention to her. Apparently, is what they say. She just is a big attention seeker, and you can't pay attention to anything else. It's all about her. Apparently,
I can appreciate a good diva.
She is apparently a diva. You can see in her face too when that lady was holding her. She's like, "That's right, pay attention to me."
Well, in that same video clip, they're kissing it and stuff like that, the doll. It was weird, but
it's weird.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's very weird.
I've never kissed any of my dolls, for the record.
I would hope not.
Well, we'll see until you get Samantha home later. Now that she has a name.
All right, on to Akiku.
I think it is Okiku.
Okiku, yeah.
Anyway.
So on to Akuku.
Akuku. Okiku.
All right.
We'll just go with that. If we're wrong, I'm sure someone will let us know.
All right. So this is I am not even going to pronounce the name of the
I like her
city.
kimono.
It's in a temple in a Japanese city. I'm not going to try to attempt this and butcher it. It's allegedly a haunted doll that resides in a temple and grows hair and nails on its own. The doll is named after the girl who used to play with it long ago. Yeah, they have trimmed and even cut the hair of this doll, and it keeps growing.
So apparently the doll originally had a bob.
Oh, wow.
So her hair was super short.
Yeah,
it was a present from the girl's brother, and then.
Yeah, and they've kept cutting it and trimming it, and despite all that, it's still gross.
Yeah, the little girl died of a high fever or something. I think a year after getting the doll, and so the family made an altar for the girl and put the doll in it, and then ended up donating it to that museum.
It's actually a temple.
Yeah,
but then it's remained there ever since. The monks at the temple make sure to trim her hair. It is said one of the monks started doing it after having a dream of the doll asking him to do it. Nobody has been able to explain why the doll's hair keeps growing. And also the DNA of the doll is human.
Yeah, they tested, not the doll, but the hair itself. They tested the hair in a lab, and they did confirm that the hair is human. So
now this one, I don't get any negative vibes from it. Even the stories and stuff like that, people go and they they give, it has its own in the temple.
Look, and she's got a different kimono on, so she gets new outfits. She's living the life.
But she's on a little altar, and people come and pay her their respects and give her gifts and stuff like that. So,
she looks so cute.
I know.
What about that doll? Yeah.
No, I'm not cutting any hair. I'm not doing any maintenance, anything like that.
Okay,
I can't even grow my own hair. I'm not having a doll that grows
From
hair.
the semi-adorable to the goddamn terrifying. Isla de la onto the Island of Dolls in Mexico City.
Yeah, you're just trying to say it.
This is my life.
Yeah,
goal
this
here.
is
This is my dream. Other than the drowning part.
So
to be honest,
yeah.
just go on Google, type in the Island of Dolls, and just Google scroll all the images because every single one of them is absolutely terrifying. I couldn't even figure out which all images they use for this.
think
they're all terrifying.
The most interesting part of this, though, is that so this all happened. Like he leaves his family and he goes to this island, and this girl, he finds this little girl's body that's drowned, and so he hangs up a doll as like to honor her memory, and then this turns into an obsession of him just hanging up dolls, and then like. So, like, he's on this island. He doesn't really have a lot of contact. So, like, then they come to the island and they find him dead. And he drowned in the same spot that the freaking little girl drowned in. And to this day, though, people still go there and put up, like, additional dolls to, like, pay honor to, like, both the girl and him now. Yeah. So it's just turned into, like...
And he's also said that, like, the dolls had other
Look
little
at this
girls'
one.
spirits
She's just,
in it.
like... She was like straddling that branch.
Dude, every single it's just like every photo of this place just was like just pure nightmare fuel.
No, this is just give me a bed and I'll be fine. I'll just live there.
It's a nice little hammock right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can Google, or you can actually use Google Earth and walk around.
Oh man,
Really?
I didn't know that.
I'm gonna do that.
I'm so doing that.
That's
when
what
I go
I'm doing
So
tomorrow.
go to Google Earth and you can look up the Isle of Dolls and you can walk around the Isle of Dolls and go for your own
Look, there's
tour.
a cat.
Yeah, sure. Well, it's a small little island just south of Mexico City, and this guy just planted all these dolls there.
And then he died.
And he died there.
And then people kept planting dolls there. So now
I hope people plant dolls for me when I die.
we will.
If I die before all you guys, I want everyone who comes to my funeral to bring a doll and put it in the casket.
Everyone has to make a doll of themselves.
And then we're gonna bury these dolls with you.
You'll be holding Samantha.
Samantha,
awesome.
yes.
I don't want any dirt in
Just
my grave,
Samantha.
just dolls. It'll be like a giant ass claw machine.
Grand prize is Randy's corpse.
Oh my god. And then the last doll we have on our list of rogue dowries of famous dolls is Harold.
Good old Harold.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
He's just the stuff of nightmares.
Harold can definitely
Hey,
hang
look,
out with me.
he's got a flashlight. You better be careful. He might take that apart.
No. You better not take apart any flashlights in my room. That's a whole nother
He's
story.
the stuff of nightmares, though.
So this was listed on eBay originally?
Okay, so there's
Go
a
ahead.
whole thing.
Okay, go for it.
So this one is like really hard to find information on for whatever reason. So I had to do like a little bit of research. So from what I understand, the person that originally had it found it at a flea market, and bought it from a man, and the man said that the doll had been in his shed, and I think it belonged, I don't know if it was his son or something, it belonged to someone in his family. It'd been in his shed. This guy was like, whatever. He bought the doll because I guess he got the impression that the man needed money, so he bought the doll real cheap. And then 2 days later, his cat died. His girlfriend left him for the pool guy, and he had began to have chronic migraines, and that all happened only 2 days after purchasing the doll. And so then he had it, and he auctioned it and was like claiming that it was haunted and was like, if you buy it, there's no returns. But then he turns around and he contradicted everything he said, and he tries to say it's a hoax. So there's like some
back and forth with it.
Back and forth. Like you don't know if the original gentleman who had it, if it really was haunted and he just didn't want to admit it, or if it really was a hoax. There's some like mixed information there from his mouth though.
Right.
And then he finally ended up selling it to a woman named Kathy, who the only reason she bought it was because she was like, I'm going to buy this and I'm going to turn around and resell it and I'm going to make more money. But after she got it, she started having like weird shit happen to her. So she put it in a closet. It stayed there for a year, and then she listed it and sold it. Yeah, it just goes through all these people. And so finally ends up with this guy, Anthony. And Anthony like swears that this doll is belongs to the devil himself. Apparently.
Hey everyone, I'm in the process of editing the video, and I just realized that both GoPros failed about right there. On one of them, the battery died, and we had to reset everything, and we thought we were recording, but apparently the other GoPro stopped recording as well. Not sure what happened, but both GoPros stopped recording right at that point. We still have the overhead shot, so that's going to be the only camera that's functioning for the last 4 minutes of this video. Thank you so much, and hope you enjoy the rest of the video.
So he's also been known to say things, and I'm quoting here. What he says is things like, "Shut up, bitch," and "I'm going to kill you, bitch." He has also been on an episode of, what is it? Ghost Adventures. Not gonna tell what happens there.
Yep.
But apparently there's a whole big thing with that. And I guess the current person that owns him, though, he has a YouTube channel. And
I love how these like haunted dolls have like,
yeah, he's a celebrity now.
Content creators. Like,
all my dolls are pissed now if they see this episode. They're like, none of us have YouTube channels.
But I guess like they've had like psychic and mediums like see the doll and stuff, and everybody just claims that there's like apparently like it's evil. There's like 4 evil spirits in the doll. One of them's a man called Harold. One of them's demonic.
I don't know. It's like, you're.
Some woman said she started coughing up blood because of this doll.
Okay. Not trying to be like the dick, but it's like you're a psychic, right? Or whatever, or a paranormal investigator. Wouldn't you want to like meet this doll because it would like help push whatever stuff you're trying to sell or whatever, or like try to add some more credibility? Like, oh yeah, I saw Robert Doll and it did all this weird shit and it was really creepy, or definitely it has all this weird shit, and you want to add to the story and the lore of it. Like, no one wants to go there and be like, oh yeah, I went.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Right. Yeah, nothing.
It's not. It's just an old beat up doll. I don't know. It is definitely creepy.
Oh, so apparently the demon does not haunt the doll. The demon owns the doll.
Oh.
He owns it.
Yeah.
He owns it.
So that means basically if you inherit the doll, that means you have a free roommate, right? That comes with the doll.
Yes. Yes.
You have a caretaker that takes care of the doll. So if you have any stories or any personal experiences with haunted dolls, we would absolutely love to hear from you.
Or if you have any haunted dolls that you want Randy to take home with him.
Yeah,
send them on over.
If you have a haunted doll that you'd love to send us, email us at info@thespookydoor.com, and we will send you some information on how to get a hold of us on that regard. Because I would love us to get more haunted dolls. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Also,
I would love to do a part 2 of this episode.
Right.
Absolutely.
This is something we could definitely return back to. And we'll have Randy on again, of course. Like I said, you can hit us up on email. You can go to our website, thespookydoor.com. You can, if you're watching the video, in the comments section below, let us know if you have any personal experiences with haunted dolls as well. And also, Randy, do you have anything you want to plug? Anything you're working on recently?
Oh, I haven't been into too much. Hoping to get into some creepy puppet stuff. I'll be starting a website eventually, Uncle Blanco Productions. Check, not tomorrow, but in like a couple months.
I like the honesty, though.
Well, I know you and I have a love of puppets and puppetry.
Absolutely
and stuff
love puppets. Yeah.
So I know we've been talking about doing something with puppets as well. Beyond that, again, you can find us on social media at the Spooky Door. Did you want to plug your Instagram?
My Instagram is just at Uncle Blanco.
All right, cool. We want to thank Randy for being on the show. Of course, great time talking to you. Thank you for bringing the dolls.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks, dolls.
Yeah, thank you. hopefully, maybe we'll pick something up on that fourth microphone. Who knows? I guess I'll find out in the editing. Anyway, join us next time through the Spooky Door.